has watched that climb to power. A former police investigator who once wanted to arrest Putin, he says his rise has come at great cost.
В принципе, коррупция, конечно, в России была всегда.
Well, of course, there has always been corruption in Russia, but building it into such a meticulous system was something only Mr. Putin has managed to do.
Во-первых, скажем так, можно ли на основании той базы, которая уже
Could
находилась?
Putin be held criminally responsible based on the evidence that has already been gathered? Absolutely, yes.
Безусловно, да.
Осуществляющих власть в государстве.
In 2010, Zhikov laid out evidence he had gathered from an investigation of Putin's early years in city government in St. Petersburg. He posted it on YouTube. Mysteriously, there have been efforts to delete it from the web, but not before it was downloaded by Russia expert and author Karen Dewisha.
And in its essence, what did that series that he posted, what was the summation of it?
The summation of it was a detailed account of the criminal activities that he feels Putin was involved in. Abuse of power, abuse of his official position, involvement in relations with organized crime, knowledge about money laundering. I mean, a whole range of economic crimes.
Dewisha says that Zhikov's charges are part of a larger culture of corruption in Putin's Russia. She has been gathering extensive documentation for a new book on what she calls Putin's kleptocracy and how he and his circle have shaped the country.
I started thinking, instead of seeing Russia as a democracy in the process of failing, we need to see it as an authoritarian system in the process of succeeding. That they're not actually incapable of being Democrats. They don't want to be Democrats. What about that? Let's work on that thesis. And if that's correct, when did that start? And that's what took me to the 90s, because they were stealing from the very beginning.
In 1990, the old Soviet system was collapsing, but what exactly would replace it wasn't clear. The uncertainty had a whole nation on edge. Among them was a young KGB officer named Vladimir Putin. He'd returned to his hometown of St. Petersburg from his posting in Dresden, East Germany, and he was looking for work. He would eventually find it at St. Petersburg's City Hall. His former law professor, Anatoly Sobchak, had just been elected mayor. Sobchak's widow, Lyudmila Narasova, remembers her husband's response when his former student insisted on telling him that he'd been working for the KGB.
Моего мужа поразило это.
My husband was shocked by the candor and what his job was. And he said he had worked in the German Democratic Republic in East Germany. And he said, well, I just happen to be looking for people that know Europe, that know the languages in order to work on foreign economic relations. They wouldn't have hired an idiot to work in reconnaissance, so I hope you can manage it. Go work. And it needs to be said that, according to my husband, he never regretted it.
Putin would soon be deputy mayor of the city, and crucially, chair of the Committee on Foreign Economic Relations.
He was the linchpin. He controlled which foreign companies could register their offices and receive offices. After all, remember, all this property was Soviet property. Soviet Union hadn't fallen yet. So how was a company going to get access to property to set up a branch in St. Petersburg? Putin would have to assign